Don't stop till you're proud. Hi, this is Kalpana Reddy from Krishi High School. Today I'm here to discuss about class 7, chapter 3, that is tanks and groundwater. So before moving into the topic, I would like to wish you all a happy and a healthy morning, children. Hope everyone is doing good, right? And as in the previous session, we have learnt about tanks, isn't it? So about the tanks, about the fishing, and about the fisher folks, different types of like fishes, and the lifestyle of fisher folks. Okay. And about the Betwalla village, isn't it, children? So do you all remember it? Yes. Okay, so today we are going to learn about the part 2 of the lesson, that is groundwater, right? Let's move into the topic, shall I? Okay, so firstly, we'll start with groundwater level. Okay, so what is groundwater level, children? Water level is never stable. It goes deeper in summer and comes up after the monsoons. So the ground level water is nothing but the water which is accumulated inside the ground, okay, between the rocks. Is that clear to you? That is called ground level water. So this ground level water, so what happens exactly? So during the summer season, it is never stable. That means what? Never stable means what? Like it never be constant. Okay, children, it get fluctuates. So the level gets fluctuates. It goes deeper in summer and comes up after after the monsoons, means after rainy season. As the water level increases, so the water, whatever we receive the rainfall, so like some part of it get percolated in soil, isn't it? So due to which the water is accumulated deep below the earth, deep below the ground. So during the monsoon season, the water comes up. Is that clear to children? Okay. Next, water below the ground level. Generally, how exactly how it happens. So rocks of the Kadapa type of limestone, too hard, that are greatly broken, and water is available between 3 to 15 meters below the ground level. Wells are dug up to 16-meter deep. The area adjacent to the great river, the Krishna and Godavari, have deep layers of sand and silt. So here, you know, you have heard about the Kadpa stones, isn't it? So the Kadpa limestones, it's very too hard, children. It's too hard to break. Is that it? So the water is available between 3 to 15 meters below the ground level. So there, where you find the stone, Kadpa stone, so there the people, they'll dig the wells, or they'll dig the wells till 16 meters deep. Okay, children. And the area adjacent to the great rivers like the Krishna and Godavari have deep layers of sand and silt. The water level here depends upon the water in the river. So as we know that in the previous previous classes also, you have learned, like it's in your class 7 and 6 also. So the places which are located near the sea, so there we will find water hardly between few deep below the sea. Like I mean say, generally we can find easily if you dig the well. I mean say to 3 to 25, 15 meters or 25 meters only, you will find the water. Is that clear? Because there the sand and silt, they will percolate the water which flows, isn't it? The water level here depends upon the water in the river. Okay, so it is nearly 5 to 7 meters below the ground in this. So as I said, nearly like I mentioned, 0 to within 15 meters only you can find the waters. Just deep below the 7 meters only you can find the, I mean it is 5 to 7 meters, you will find the water. Okay, children. So in this area, it's very easy to dig the wells. Why? Because so the water which flows from the river or the rainwater, so the sand and the silt, they'll have the tendency to percolate the water. Okay, they percolate the water and it will uphold the water levels in the ground. Okay, so what happens, so easily you can find easily, like if you dig between 5 to 7 meters only, you will find the water. So this is how the people like who are digging the well near this area, in this area, so it will be very economical for them. Okay, it's not so high expensive like us. For example, if you're now residing in Suraram and if you're constructing any building and if you want to dig the borewells, you might have seen in your surroundings also, in your neighboring places also, many people while constructing the house, they are digging the bores. So what is happening? So we are spending huge amount of what like money to dig the bore wells. Is that clear to you? But if you spend but if it is the case of the places which are near the sea levels, children, so it's very economical, right children? Okay. Next, recharging groundwater. So how we can recharge the groundwater? So how we can hold the groundwater? Okay, so water quickly flows into the stream and river. If the flows of the rainwater are checked by vegetation or bunds, there would be a great possibility of the water percolation into the soil to join the groundwater. So what happened? How we can hold the ground rainwater? Is that clear to you? So we have learned that from the mountains, when it rains, the water flows in a channel, it cuts the channel, then it forms, it's joined with a big river called tributary and all, isn't it? So whatever the water flows, so before I mean to say how we can hold that water, rainwater, with by flowing. That means what we have to do, we have to check, keep a check by vegetation or bunds. Vegetation means what? By growing the plants and trees, by growing the plants and tree, and by bunds. Bund is nothing but a strong walls, in the tanks, in the previous session we have learned about the tanks. So that means charu, that's one side stone wall, okay, to hold the water, to hold the water. So what we have to do, if we grow the plants, so what will happen, children? The roots of the trees, they have the tendency to hold the water, they have the tendency to hold the water for a long time. Is that clear to you, children? So it will run off the rainwater, it will run off the rainwater. Is that clear to you, children? And by constructing the bunds, okay, so in the previous session we have learned about the tanks now, so same thing. So by constructing the bunds also, we can store some part of it, some percentage of the water. To enhance groundwater, vegetation like trees and grasses are planted on the hill slopes from where our stream starts, and bunds are built across the stream to store water for a longer time to increase or recharge groundwater. Such efforts are called watershed development projects. So the government has taken steps to recharge the groundwater. See, if everyone is keep on digging the borewells, and whatever the groundwater is available, so that is being used and for multiple purpose, so again we have to recharge now. So if we keep on, if you have a bucket of water with you, and daily if you take one mug of water out of it, so one or the other day it will vanish, isn't it? It becomes empty, the bucket. So in the same way here also, if you dig the well, and if you keep on using the water out of it, and if the water is not getting recharged, so some or the other day it will get dry, isn't it, children? So you might have heard, when you travel to your villages also, you might have seen many wells are dried up, you don't find water in that. Okay, so this is the reason why we have to recharge. So how we can recharge? We can recharge by vegetation, okay, and constructing the bunds. So the program what is carried out by the government is watershed development projects, right children? Okay, so here you can see the roots. Okay, in the image what I have shown you is the roots is upholding the water. Okay children? Okay. So next, quality of groundwater. The minerals come from the rocks and the soil underneath dissolves in the groundwater. Depending upon the mineral which mix with the water, the taste and nature of water changes. So here, generally we the rocks which are there, the pervious rocks and the impervious rocks, we have you have learned in previous classes also, children, pervious rocks and impervious rocks. Okay, because they hold the water. The stones which are holding the water are pervious, and those who are not holding the water are impervious rocks. Yes. So So and the soil, they contain what, children? They contained they are dissolved in the groundwater. So the rocks and the soil, and then they are dissolved in the groundwater, depending upon the mineral which mixed with the water. So depending upon the mineral which is mixed with the water, the taste and the nature of the water changes. So you find a different taste. Generally, see, the water what you have here in your house, it will be somewhat different when you move to your villages and you have this water, isn't it? The taste differs. Yes, so it depends upon the content of minerals. Okay, content of minerals which is mixed with the water. Is that clear to you, children? So the excess quantity of certain minerals, so generally the we find all those minerals deep below the ground, isn't it? So the excess quantity of certain minerals like sodium, fluoride, chloride, iron, nitrate, etc., mixed with the groundwater, drinking such water is not good for health. Okay, and causes diseases which affects our bones and teeth. So if the water is if the mineral is up to some extent, then I mean to say, it is I mean to say, suitable for our health. But if the content exceeds the limit, okay, if the content exceeds the limit, then what happens, children? It may cause many health issues like diarrhea, and you may have some problems, issues with bones and teeth also, children. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So quality of groundwater. Water is also polluted due to the excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides or poor drainage. So what, not only with the I mean to say, content of minerals, it is also get polluted due to the excessive usage of fertilizers and pesticides what we are using. So generally in the crops, in the agriculture, we use lot of pesticides and fertilizers. So the soil, it absorbs, isn't it? And the poor drainage system. So in few of the places you will find the poor drainage system. There is no proper drainage system. So the water flow, the drainage water also flows over the roads, isn't it? Even you might have experience in Suraram also, in many of the areas, right? So water becomes unsafe for drinking or even bathing. In such cases, the water becomes unsafe for drinking and even for bathing. In such situation, the drinking water should be properly treated to remove the excess minerals and should take preventive steps. So in such cases, what we have to do, we have to take the precautionary measures. We have to take the precautionary measures to keep a check on this excess use of minerals, which causes the health issues. Is that clear to children? Okay, hope you have understood everything. So you can see I have shared the image also for your better understanding. So you can see, children, so the drainage, see how the water is flowing. So there is a drainage water, so when it get mixed up with the ground level, so even the ground level water will get polluted. So in the other picture, corresponding picture, you can see that the pesticides what the farmers are using. So if the excessive usage of fertilizer and pesticides also, the soil will absorb, isn't it? So then it automatically it get mixed with the groundwater, right, children? Okay. So here you can see, so the I mean to say, drainage, and I mean to say, the litters what they have thrown. Okay, so it get decomposed with the soil and it get mixed with the water, and see the water is, so in such cases the water is not safe for even bathing also, right? Okay, and drinking also. Now, usage of groundwater. Groundwater, like river, is the common source of the all people, and just of those who have land over aquifer. We use the groundwater as a common resources, and in a restrained manner. Only then we ensure that everyone is able to benefit. We should also develop ways of using and conserving water in a retained manner. So what generally, what is the source for drinking water, children, for us? So generally aquifers. We use the groundwater as a common resource and in a restrained manner. Yes or no, children? So for when you construct the building, for whatever it is there, we use the groundwater. We'll dig the wells and everything, isn't it? So only then we ensure that everyone is able to benefit. So when we should dig the bores, not keep on frequently. So if you feel that it is mandatory and if it is benefited in multiple ways, then only we should do it. We also develop ways of using and conserving water in a restrained manner. So how we can how we can keep a check by wasting um, without wasting the water is, so see, uh, generally you might have seen what it is, uh, the rainwater, what do you call the stone pits? Yes, the stone pits. If you're constructing a house, so in every house, if we dig the, like I mean to say, that stone pit, and whatever the rainwater flows from the terrace, so you give a proper connection to that, and so that the water flows to the ground, and the whatever the rainwater is there, instead of flowing on the roads, so that you must see, ensure that that is going and accumulating in that stone pit, so that the level of the groundwater will increase. So if this idea is implemented in every house, okay, at least we can keep a check by, I mean to say, without wasting water. Is that clear to children? We can recharge the ground level water. So I hope you all have understood the concept. So here I've shared also the image also. You can just check out, children. Okay. Now let's talk about your homework, children. So you have to write the keywords, because we have concluded the lesson, so we are left with only notes. So keywords: pervious rocks, impervious rock, vegetation, aquifer, and megalith age. Is that clear to you? So you have to write the keywords, and I want everyone to upload your homework within 24 hours. Okay, that means, for example, if your video is uploaded tomorrow, like I mean to say today, by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, so by tomorrow 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock only is your cut-off timing, children. Within this 24 hours only, you have to submit your homework. Is that clear to children? And if the time limit exceeds, so that will be not considered. Even if you post it also, I'm not going to consider that. Is that clear to you? Okay, so with this, I'm going to just sign off with the class, children, session. I hope you have enjoyed. So thank you for being connected with me. Bye bye.